Welcome to the channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. Today, I'd like to share with you a critical issue in Wing Chun, which must be fixed for those who really love Wing Chun or care Wing Chun or really want to develop the Wing Chun skill. This is a problem since 1875 until today. If Wing Chuners don't fix this problem, it is for sure the end of Wing Chun. So, after you watch this video, you will know what is the problem. You will know what is the direction to fix this thing. So this morning, I shared this short YouTube. It's less than 1 minute. Wing Chun Fa Jin is only possible via reverse breathing handling, not those mind, energy, chi, tai chi, whatever magical power stuff. So just a few hours after I shared this video, there are already many Wing Chun friends asked me to explain more, want to know more about the contents of this short YouTube. And that's the reason why I make this YouTube today, to share with you entirely what is going on there. So you know what is the problem and you know the direction, how you need to travel in order to fix it. Now, let's go back to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, November 24th, 2012, I shared the 1850s Siu Lin Tau sets, the part 1. At that time, I named it Yit Gam Siu Lin Tau. The reason I name it as Yit Gam Siu Lin Tau is because this Siu Lin Tau is kept, protected, and passing down by Yit Gam, the actor who play female roles in the King Hua, Wei Gun, and Tai Ching Red Boat opera team, the real Tai Ching Red Boat opera team, which exists in 1850. So I just using the name just to credit him for his contribution. What we need to know is in 1850, there is only one Wing Chun. There is no Wing Chun lineage this, lineage that. There's only one Wing Chun. You can read history or the video I have shared with you previously. So I shared this video showing the Yit Gam Siu Lin Tau, part 1. And I show within this sets practice, you have this and this. This is a sequence of move. You can check into this YouTube and take a look of the entire sets. Now, as we know that after 10 years, there are 16,260 views on this video. And of course, I know it is difficult to understand what is going on with those sets 10 years ago. I do. So this is a set 10 years ago I share with the entire world. And So a few days ago, with this two move, I share another video. The truth of Wing Chun breathing, which is unknown in public since 1875. Sharing about the breathing and the Fa Jin, the exerting of force or strength, exerting of force and strength. So this is like a 30 minutes video to share everything you need to know in the basic of breathing in the sets. Okay. And so today I took a part of this sets. I make this video, very short video to share with the world. And after the sharing, okay, I know that if I don't explain things, nobody will understand what is going on. And this sharing is a few days ago, September 28, 2022. Between the time, guess what? I wrote a book called Basic Wing Chun Queen Art and Science. I wrote another book called Wing Chun Inceptions. What is that for? That is to present the detailed basic of Wing Chun Siu Lin Tau sets, of these sets, which exist in 1850 in an engineering way. So this is created in the Silicon Valley. So this Wing Chun Art and Science presents the six core elements. Namely, the physical, mind, breathing, qi, force flow, momentum. Wing Chun Inception present the model, different model, scientific model, including the nurture qi practice and many things. Okay, and you can see that this is a mapping into the sports science already. Now, there's breathing here. Of course, in the basic Wing Chun Queen Art and Science, breathing has to be presented, what type of breathing and so forth, because it is one of a critical element in the six core element. In fact, every one of this element is important. Now, I even go further in the Wing Chun matrix to present how to develop the really basic of the breathing, this breathing, which is over here, I name it as 2C state. Now, the reason of all of this is to get into, to know the breathing, to build out the basic of breathing, because breathing training don't come overnight. You need to go through a lot of things. You need to understand a lot of things. So that's why you have all this really clear engineering type of writing there to describe all these things and the processes of the practice to develop your breathing. And of course, with this thing, remember this? In past few months, I further expanded into measurable with the sport tracker or fitness tracker today. Just look at this, breathing. And you look at this, the breathing mechanism in your body, which related to diaphragm and your pelvic floor muscle. And all of this are scientifically measurable. So I further share this with you because I want you to see the big picture. And just last week also, I further share with you on the two types of Nei Gong, internal art. You look at this breathing here. This is a type 1. And then this is a type 2, which has got to do with your intra-abdominal pressure. Again, this has got to do with this. All of this is in my video in this channel, okay, and my books. It is being put in the public because this channel is an education and culture channel. The mindset here is based on we want everybody to know, to have a proper education. It is not about who is number one, who have the biggest school, who is the grandmaster, those type of things. Okay, so this is share. Now, as I mentioned, when you get into the Qi Gong or Nei Gong stuff, you need to be able to handle your intra-abdominal pressure and your breathing, the depth of your breathing. And the depth of the breathing type, we know that that is the natural resonance lower abs breathing and the reverse breathing. This is a natural resonance lower abs breathing. This 2C state is the natural lower abs breathing. You need all of this over here before you can get into reverse breathing. If you don't do that, you're going to damage your body. Okay. Even worse if you have no idea what is going on. So, as in over here, I give you a very comprehensive basic understanding on this breathing. Don't screw around because you can get into problem, serious problem. Now, because you have to deal with the intra-abdominal pressure, you need to know your abdominal pressure, your thoracic pressure, your eyes pressure. One step you screw it up, you're going to screw up your body, such as you get hernia, you get heart issue, or your blood pressure issue, or you cause your blood circulations to be not good, and you're going to get dizzy when you practice. Like today, there are many people who practice sets like Fa Jin, get into dizzy. Because when you deal with intra-abdominal pressure, there's all kinds of risky business. And also your eyes pressure. So people with a high eyes pressure or glaucoma must not touch those reverse breathing stuff, because who knows what are you doing? As for the natural lower abs breathing, as soon as you do not stop breathing, in general, one is safe. But one must go check with one's eye doctor of what one can practice or not. Similar to if one wants to do the heavy weight training. This is a serious stuff, okay? And so as what I mentioned here, When you are in aerobic base, natural low abs breathing, you are considered much safer than when you go up here into the anaerobic and you do reverse breathing and you create tons of intra-abdominal pressure. So you need to check with professional on that. When people train you that, you need to know that they be able to understand the entire process of training scientifically, not risking oneself, okay? This is not the place you can play expert. So you need to understand this, okay? Like the people who do lifting, weightlifting. Now, and that's why scientifically we can track the lower abdomen's pressure and the breathing, the in-depth of breathing. As you see here, as soon as you use a wrong EG Kamyongma, you screwed your intra-abdominal pressure handling and your breathing. Because when you do the triangle type of the EG Kamyongma, the structure type, you are going to force your breathing into the chest area. No longer it is the 2C state, which I just mentioned, where scientifically you can get that. Okay, you look at the amplitude of the breathing and you look at the pressure. Amplitude is directly proportional to the pressure. And you look at once you change the stance to a wrong stance, like the triangle structure stance, you are screwing up your breathing and thus your intra-abdominal pressure. Look at it again. This is science. You know, people in marathon, in weightlifting, today everybody is checking this kind of stuff. The coach was checking those kind of stuff. Now, if you get into natural resonance lower abs breathing, into squats and the reverse breathing, look at this. See, squat down, this is a natural lower abs breathing. You see at this squat, the second squat, this is the reverse breathing type. Now just look at this thing. Look at this thing, this curve. Look at this curve. This curve, you can see how sharp and the amplitude is high in the reverse breathing, meaning that your breathing, your intra-abdominal pressure fluctuation is big. You see this? Okay. I just cannot put my pointer there for this zoom reason. And you see that at the natural breathing, it is more less stiff, the slope of the pressure, the intra-abdominal pressure and the breathing, and less amplitude. So let's look at it again. Okay, when I squat down, you see that the curve going down. It's like slope down and then come up. Okay, it's very smooth way. Now I start to do the reverse breathing. You see that it go up and then slam down, playing down a little bit and then come up. It's very stiff there. You see this curve? Okay, let's look at it again. See how it's slow, gradually going down and gradually going up when I stand up. And look at this. When I'm ready for that, I squat down right away. The amplitude fall down and then they come up, really stiff. So you don't want to monkey around with your intra-abdominal pressure. Okay, in the reverse breathing, you never ever want to stop breathing. If you stop breathing, you know it is damaged. Even when you do a normal natural resonance breathing, if you stop breathing when you're exerting force, strength, that is trouble. Okay, so I want you guys to look at it again. Natural breathing, gradually going down, going up with my body, squat down and come up. Ready, prepare, going down with the reverse breathing. It's going sing there and then it go up, or it's a stiff. Scientifically, we can measure. So if a student practice this kind of reverse breathing, it is better to have a belt there first so that the instructor be able to check him whether he do a proper breathing or not. You don't want people who need to practice natural lower abs breathing get into the reverse breathing type, because people have no aware of what is the natural breathing and reverse breathing. And if the instructor do not see this, how can the instructor know what the heck are you doing, like in the class? Okay, so breathing is not something fun. When you want to get serious to generate the power and so forth. And of course, one of the reasons of this intra-abdominal pressures needed is like in the weightlifting, you want to have your core stable. You want to secure your core. So saying this much, now you know about this reverse breathing stuff. Let's look at this, what I shared this morning. Okay. And then I explain to you what is going on. So this is natural low abs breathing. 4 times slow speed. You see how I do it? So this is reverse breathing. Okay, so this 2 move, it is just this move. It is just the same thing what I shared with you 10 years ago in the sets. Look at this move. It's just I do not Fa Jin, exert strength with this. And with this, I exert strength. At the reverse breathing. So this is the reverse breathing. This is how the strength exert. Yes, this is in Siu Lin Tau. You have to have this capability. So the legend of in the Siu Lin Tau, you be able to have this strength developed. It is real. But provided you need to know how to breathe. Now, let me get you to all these details in the following photos so that you know exactly if we come when we come back to look at this thing. So this is the 3 photos, very important. This is the natural low abs breathing. This is a reverse breathing. If you look at the beginning of exertions of the Fa Jin of this video, you take a snapshot, you can see that the angle the body is lean forward more in the reverse breathing compared with the forward breathing. Okay, so even though you do the same move, but because of the breathing is different, this one for sure, because it's the reverse breathing, you actually stabilize, strengthen your core, okay, with the intra-abdominal pressure. And it is like this, okay, the body is, this is the angle is more into this lean forward type of direction, if you look at it. Okay, now we can look at this. Now so when it start, you see the body leaning. Okay, okay, so if you look at it, if you take a snapshot there, you can see the differences. This is your core is now, it is strengthened. Okay, it is purposely strengthened. The second is when you exerting the force out. You see that this is the natural breathing. The body is going backward, stand up, going backward. While in this reverse breathing, actually it is charging front, forward. Now, when you exerting the force, you see that this, in the natural breathing, the body already is leaning back due to that the breathing, natural breathing handling, the spine handling, and the internal, the intra-abdominal pressure handling. And you can see that the hand is actually going up and down like this way. While in the reverse breathing, you can see this is going up, not leaning up, it going still forward. The hand and the strength, the force is issuing forward, okay, in a shockwave manner. Because if you just look at the pens here, which is the power generations from the lower abs, you'll be able to see how this pen is moving. You can see the wave of the shock. Okay, so let's look into that. Okay, so this is the natural breathing. You see the body leaning. You see the arms like this. The arm is dropping like that, as I just mentioned. Reverse breathing. You see the body always lean and go straight forward, and it just, the hand is delivered forward. Now see another thing here. Look at the pen, this area. Natural breathing. Look at this pen over here, over here. Look at the pen. It is just pushing. Reverse. Look at here. So reverse breathing, look at it, how the Fa Jin is going forward. You see this part, is shocking, while this part is like this. You look at it. Compare with the reverse breathing. Look at it. Look at the shock. So that is the body. You create the shock in the lower part of body, and you just transmit it out. As in over here, in the natural breathing, you don't have that. And your body leaning back, that means your force, your strength is not going to shoot out. You see that? The body lean back, it doesn't have the shock. The hand is like this. The strength is only stopped here. Okay? Oh, it start with generate here, go out. It's just going out. The entire thing, what you generate is is shooting outwards. Okay? So that is why the real Fa Jin is using the reverse breathing. And now you can see another thing. In the natural breathing, your strength, whatever you generate that push up from your leg is going to go leaning back, dissipate, it is split into leaning back and to your arm, which is flopping around. Instead of like the reverse breathing, it just going from leg to shoot out. Okay, let's look at it. You guys can keep looking at it and until you see it. You see, it differentiate. It just is split into two. One is lean back, another one is to front. That is for the natural breathing. Now look at the reverse breathing, how the entire thing goes forward. So the body didn't lean forward. The body didn't lean forward, lean backward, like this one lean backward, this lean forward. So you can see a lot of people when they play the wooden dummy, the leaning backward. Once that when you strike the when you play with the dummy, you see many people, even Sifu and Grandmaster. You just look at the YouTube. When they do this, they lean backward. You know that that force is not Fa Jin. It cannot penetrate. Why? Because they never train in the reverse breathing. So they just breathing normally, naturally. Not to mention that if you stand in the E.G. Kamyong Ma like today, clamping your knee, triangle shape, and then all those structure, your strength is only going backward and going to your hand. When you punch, you're going backward, you dissipate that backward. You cut the entire thing, the strength into half. It is not going to shoot out. The Jing, the force flow is not going to go out. And not to mention that because you don't have reverse breathing, your core is not stable. That's why you can see that people lean back, like it recoil back the body. It's not the entire thing shoot out. So that's what it is. It has to be like that. So yeah, the wooden dummy, when you strike him with this type of thing, is the entire thing go and you shake you just penetrate the wooden dummy. But this one, you just hitting the arm. Just look at it, okay? Now, this is the technology I brought to the United States of America. People might thinking when I say, oh yeah, I brought I transfer the technology of 1850 to America, people say, oh, Henry, you must bullshit. No, this is all scientific. And we know exactly how to train this thing. Be able to quantify, measurable, and so there's no guessing work. We know what is dangerous. Like I said that the reverse breathing or the natural breathing, the reverse breathing is really dangerous because it's I shouldn't say dangerous, say risky if you don't know how to handle it. It's like the Olympic weightlifter. If you don't have a good coach, you don't know about medical conditions, you can screw yourself. So does Wing Chun Siu Lin Tau in the 1850 have this capability of this Fa Jin? To see is to believe, and right now we can prove it with science. Okay, we can monitor the thing. This is not what they have in the 1875. In the 1875 writing, they don't have this. In all those Wang Wapou, Liang Zhan transmissions or Tai Fa Ming Gam transmissions until today, since the 1875, this is scientific and historical proof to you that they don't have this technology. That's why nobody mentioned about breathing. Not even that you need the reverse breathing, a specific type of breathing. In the late 1800 or early 1900, when people take opium, how can you train those kind of reverse breathing? You can. Okay. So it is a reality. And also this type of strength, which is created in Hong Kong, is not what is the Siu Lin Tau strength. This is a pushing strength, a structure pushing strength, right? It is not this. It is not this. The entire force exert outward. This is Fa Jin. You need Tai Chi. You can go past. You can look at in the Wing Chun history for past 6 decades. People claiming internal, claiming Tai Chi, internal, whatever. But did they be able to perform, deliver that shock Fa Jin in their Siu Lin Tau sets? You check all, you freeze the time today, you look at the entire document in the website, in the YouTube, all this film, you don't see that. You look at those who claim that it is Wing Chun, is Wang Chun, and so forth, you see that they don't have this thing. So there is a reality. So this is what I like to share with you. We know Wing Chun is missing breathing handling since 1875 because we know from this document which is Grandmaster Yin Kei-san and even Grandmaster Yip Man is using this. Like in the last time I shared with you on the video how the Wing Chun evolved in early 1900s. They don't have this kind of thing. You look at all this history and legend, they don't have this kind of thing. Why? If you have this thing, you need to be able to describe like here. You need to be able to describe like this. How is the body go? So in the ancient time when there's no science, like today we have, the Sifu have to know what it is and be able to spot what it is and make correction to their student. Thanks to today, we have technology in the States. We have technology. We can verify very deeply on what is going on. So it is not a myth. It's not magic, but it is not everybody's piece of cake. Not everybody can train those things because, as what I said, when it gets to the reverse breathing, you increase your intra-abdominal pressure. It's going to influence your thoracic pressure, your eye pressure, and everything. This is not everybody's piece of cake. People who want to train this need to have their eyes checked in the eyes doctor, make sure their eye pressure is not go crazy. And after 3 months, they need to check it. Okay? Or else you're looking for trouble. You cannot bullshit on this kind of thing. So that's why you get back to this model. The training of explosive power and speed and endurance I just shared with you just now in that short Fa Jin video, it influences the entire cardiorespiratory system. It goes to anaerobic. It gets your intra-abdominal pressure to be high. It belongs to this part, which is the momentum play part. You don't monkey around with this. Okay. So you ask the questions. Even usually people do not know how to do the natural resonance flow at breathing, like this one. That's why I have to use these tools to help people to do it. And that's why I have to have this nurture chi process. If you don't have this thing develop, you know you're looking for trouble. So welcome to real Wing Chun. Wing Chun is, in today's parallel, is like you need to have a PhD to study Wing Chun, a doctor degree. It's so much detail and it's no kidding. Of course, what I share with you today, after today, there's one thing. The bad news is this is not everybody's piece of cake. But if you want to learn Wing Chun just using the natural resonance breathing, as I share with you in the books and so forth, which is good for health, is an aerobic based type. Everybody can do it. You want to do it with the anaerobic, with the fighting explosive, then that's not everybody's piece of cake. We all need to know our conditions. No monkey around with it because you need to live. Remember, people get poor and suffer is because of if one is sick and not be able to work. And we need to always put that in my mind. No gung-ho thing. The legend say this is from the king of Wing Chun or whatever hell. Put that aside. You need to take care of your health. You need medical team to help you to make sure. It's like those Olympic players. You need a medical team to help you if you want to go that way. Okay, no gung-ho, no myth, no magic. So this is the reality, and you know that Wing Chun is in depth. So the good news is you can feel proud of you are Wing Chunner. We don't sell bullshit. Wing Chun ancestor in the anti-Qing 1850, they are not selling bullshit. There's the good news. The bad news is it is not everybody's game. Can I do it? Well, when I was young, I can do it. So that's why I can take all this picture for you. But can I go to exit my limit? Not today, after 60 something. Okay. I have to be doing it with very carefully. And I have all my friend, my teacher, and so forth, my tools and everything to take to monitor me on what I'm doing. Now, if you don't have that, you shouldn't touch it. Okay, so there's the bad news. But it's better to give you this bad news than to sell you snake oil or scam or fantasy. Because you matter, your life matter, your family matter. It's not gung-ho guy. What is good to be like Bruce Lee? How old when he passed away? He's a good guy. But if you keeping pushing your limit, you expect that. I have Sifu who passed away young. It's because they are pushing their limit. Heaven give us a limitation, and certain limit in our body is not what we need. We should push, because our missions, everybody have different missions. If your missions is not that and you're pushing that thing, then you know it's trouble. You know you are in a big risk. So this is what I like to share with you. It's a technological stuff. It is a risky business. It's better that everybody know what they are getting into. So Wing Chun past 130 years, they don't have this information. Now we have it in the United States of America. That's why, again, I said, I'm not bullshitting you when I tell you that it is already here.